All right, folks. I woke up this morning and I saw some terrible news this morning on YouTube and on other things. And you know what it is. It was the Ingrid Andress National Anthem fiasco. So I thought I'd make a quick video about this because I saw some comments out there and some people's takes on this that I thought were kind of not getting the whole picture. There's a few things going on here that make this so bad. If you haven't seen the video, it's really bad. It's gonna hurt your ears. I feel bad for the girl. I really do. She's clearly trying her best, and she's dealing with a couple things that make this much more difficult than it would otherwise be. Her name is Ingrid Andress. She did this, I think, at the Home Run Derby, was doing this national anthem, and our beloved national anthem, which is a weird song. And so that's why I got the guitar here, because I'm just going to show you a couple things that make this a little bit more complicated. But what clearly is going on here, and that I think a lot of people are missing, she has some problems. She's got she's definitely sounds like an untrained singer, and her voice is doing all kinds of weird things that that any kind of vocal coach would say, would try to train out of you. But she's also clearly got Autotune on her live mic plugin. I don't think a lot of people realize this, but yes, we are at the stage in technology and ingenuity and inauthenticity where we put Autotune even on live mics. You can do it. It will auto adjust the pitch coming out the other end of the speaker to match some predetermined key. Some people will keep the Autotune plugin set to things like no key or like a custom thing where it's just going to make these minor adjustments based on what the algorithm kind of thinks the note you're trying to hit. That doesn't work very well unless you are a very good singer, or you are a singer who's being constantly kept in your tonal key area by a band and by people who are playing around you and who are you're constantly hearing where that key center is, and so you can kind of adjust your voice to match other instruments and other people around you. You can't do that during an a cappella performance of the national anthem. So I kind of want to talk to this sound technician. I think he should get some of the blame here. Why on earth, he or she, why on earth did they set her up for failure by putting Autotune on a live a cappella mic? Unless she's got some kind of sine wave reference point in her ear the entire time, I don't understand how she's expected to monitor herself well. And I should say that a trained singer, myself, other people, could do that. You can listen to yourself. You can hear the Autotune coming back through the speaker. You can adjust on the fly and realize, it's pulling me up. I need to aim up a little bit, or it's pulling me down. I need to aim down a little bit. They've got the Autotune set differently. Personally, I would just insist that no one puts Autotune on those mics because I think it's stupid, and I think that I'm gonna sound better without it. But if you can adjust in real time, you can save a performance like that. She clearly was not able to do that. She probably didn't know exactly what was going on. She's hearing a couple different versions of her voice inside her head. It sounds like she's singing in F, but it sounds like the Autotune is probably set to G or maybe F sharp. But there's some moments where it kind of sounds like G to me, and there's some moments where it sounds like F sharp. So it could be what I was talking about. It could be a custom, it could be like no key where it's just constantly adjusting, and she's trying to adjust her voice, but not doing a wonderful job of it. And she's constantly inching up because she's hearing that what's coming back at her is not accurate. The irony here is that even though I think totally devoid of Autotune, she still is not giving a good performance here. The irony is that without the Autotune, I think it would have been better. Without the Autotune, it would have been bad, but it wouldn't have been something that is trending and going viral right now. The Autotune is doing a lot of work here to make this sound really, really terrible. The thing that hurts your ears, that's the difference you're hearing between, I think, what her voice is and where the Autotune starts to kick in and pull it to a different pitch. Usually pulling it up, it sounds like, but sometimes also pulling it down. There's one other thing going on here that I think it makes this all the more difficult and is interesting. the Star-Spangled Banner is a weird song. It's not in just one key. It has a little modulation in there. And to show you what I mean, I think she's singing originally in F. So this is the key of F major. That's an F major scale. So the song starts on C. That note is important, because that note is not in the key of C. It's not in the key of C major, or not in the key of F. Sorry, not in the key of F major. It is in the key of C. When she goes, the only time you hear the B flat, the proper note, that proper 4 note, is later in the song where it goes, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, and it's hanging out on that B flat for a minute there. That I think is also why that moment usually has such gravitas, and like why that's a moment that you start to get the chills. You haven't heard that note yet. We've been actually outside the key of F for that first part of the song, and by the time we get there, you're like, ooh, what is this? It's so fresh. And it's like, oh yes, we're just hitting the 4 note that is native to the key of F major. Before that, there's this weird Lydian modulation that happens, and you can hear it if you go, coming down. We're going, the flag was still there. That still is a B, but if it was in the key of F major, totally it would be B flat. Still there. And we can hear it when we go up here. Okay, I took a moment there because I wanted to figure out what part of the song I'm thinking of that I've heard people make this mistake before, and it makes sense to me. They go, the very last line, or the land of the free, and they go, they hit that B instead. They go, land of the free, which doesn't sound bad. We've been hearing that note before in the beginning of the song, but it's not the right note. They have to kind of get used to in their mind to be modulating. They're hitting all 4 of these notes. In the song, they're hitting all those notes. So if you don't have a good sense of where the key center is at every point of the song that you're singing, you're gonna have a tough time hitting some of those notes in that weird range. And it's because this song is weird. It's not written just totally in one key, and that is kind of weird for a song that's mostly sung a cappella. What makes that even more interesting in this context is that if that sound technician and that person who set up her microphone and put an Autotune plugin on there, if they set it to a specific key, let's say they set it to G flat or F sharp instead of F, we were up here, then they messed up because, like I said, it's not in any one major key. It has that little modulation. And so you need to account for that in the Autotune, depending on how strong the Autotune is. If the Autotune's hearing you go to a B in the key of F, it's going to correct that. It's going to push that up to a C, or it's going to bring it down to a B flat. It's not going to let you sing B if it's on full force, because that's not in the key of F. So anyone who's putting an Autotune plugin on a microphone for the national anthem is going to have to either leave it into a chromatic key where all the notes you'll be allowed to sing all the notes, but if you're a little bit flat or a little bit sharp, it's going to adjust, or they have to dial in a key that's like F Lydian, a mixture of F major and F Lydian, where you can allow all those notes, or sorry, A, B flat, B, and C are all in that song. And you have to have an Autotune plugin that basically recognizes that doesn't just limit you to one key. And that's another thing that could be going on here and could be making this tricky. So I just wanted to clear up a little bit of that for everyone, and hopefully you learned something interesting. Have a good day, everybody.